Good morning. My name is Jumoke Akintaylor, and I'm serving as the hearing officer for San Francisco Public Works. Jackie Vo is the clerk for this hearing, and as you have heard, the hearing is being recorded. So we start off with members of the public you may address me on matters that are within the department's jurisdiction, but not on today's agenda. And the hearing today is being held to consider hearing order number 212609 and to consider a request from Detroit Steps Project and Sunnyside Neighborhood Association for a Tier 3 Love Our Neighborhood permit to install and maintain one decorative metal archway occupying the public right-of-way on the south side of the intersection of Detroit Street and Monterey Boulevard, directly placed over the entrance to the Detroit Street stairwell, which traverses the 426-499 segment of Detroit Street and is known as City RSIS structure number 114. My job as the hearing officer is just to gather the facts for the hearing item, as I just described, listen to testimonies, and help our Director of Public Works make determinations. I will not make any decisions today. Instead, I will forward all my findings from this hearing and make my recommendation to the director. The director will make the final determination. When the director's determinations are made, the department will notify you of those decisions. Therefore, if you want to be notified, I think you can sign in, or there's a way for you to reach us here. The hearing will proceed as follows. We'll ask Public Works staff to speak first, present the item, and give us an overall view of the permit application process and how we arrived here today. Afterwards, I'll have speakers in the following order. Anyone who is supporting the application, and then we have anyone who is opposing it. And then lastly, someone from Public Works, if they want to speak again or address any of the comments that was raised. Each speaker will have up to 3 minutes to speak. The clerk will monitor the time for all speakers. When you hear the first bell, it means the speaker has 30 seconds left to speak. A second louder bell signifies time is up. Comments and questions should be addressed to me and not to the department or the public. If you cannot finish your comments within the allotted time, you may submit written testimonies to me by the end of this hearing. If I feel that a question is warranted, I will ask the question. Once all comments are completed, I will close the item. So let's now begin with hearing order number 212609. And may I have Public Works? I believe, Logan, you are making the presentation?
Correct. So good morning. For those attending, my name is Logan Hain, San Francisco Public Works, currently the coordinator for the Love Our Neighborhoods program. And here to present, I'll share my screen in just a second here, on what is known through our standard system as permit number 26ME00002, which is a Love Our Neighborhoods Tier 3 permit, the applicant for this being the Sunnyside Neighborhood Association. So to give a bit of background on where this is and how this came, originally the Detroit Steps project approached Public Works with the proposal for the decorative archway at the top of the lower Detroit stairs, which is where we have this red oval in the image to the right, the Detroit Steps running up through the center here, and then Monterey intersecting at the top of that image. Due to the loss of the San Francisco Parks Alliance, as we all are aware of, I'm sure, they were able to secure, though, a new fiscal sponsor and permittee, and that was the Sunnyside Neighborhood Association, hence the change in permittee as well as the change in permit number from that initial slide. The Arts Commission had approved the design prior to the submission to Public Works, so that had already been done by the time this arrived with us. Once it got to Public Works, our engineers reviewed it for conformity, for safety, proper engineering over the right-of-way at this location. You see one of the drawings to the right here, which gives a good overview of some of the site conditions as they exist, such as the fence on either side, and then the archway itself. reaching up and over and providing a clearance of 9 feet at the point here in center. One required design modification, as our engineers reviewed this, was to provide the archway with its own independent concrete foundations extending down into the sidewalk. Detail views of those do exist, obviously, but for purposes of showing everybody the broad picture, this is what the final design ultimately is going to look like and how it will be anchored within the right-of-way securely in a way that passes a stamped engineer's requirements. So ultimately, that was the design piece. We also asked Sunnyside Neighborhood Association and the Detroit Steps Project to provide materials lists, site plans. We also asked for their overall budget, maintenance plans for this in the long run so that we knew that there was a long-term plan for stewardship and care in place. And once all of those requirements had been met, per the Love Our Neighborhoods program regulations, uh, we ultimately had the neighborhood association post and mail the notifications for this hearing per code under our guidance. During that time, that posting time, while that was in progress, the Sunnyside Neighborhood Association also entered into a maintenance and liability agreement with Public Works for the duration of the permit and the installation of this archway and amenity. To kind of wrap our final comments here, ultimately, the last thing I want to highlight is that the Neighborhood Association and the Detroit Steps Project are aware of the need to work closely with SFMTA during installation. There's a bus stop here, there's a red curb, it is a high traffic boulevard, so they know that that is a piece that they will have to work with, and I want to make sure that's highlighted. And as of today, no protests have been received from the community or citizens of San Francisco in regards to this project, and we have actually received 3 letters of support for this project that we have filed away as part of the record. And ultimately, as well, there will be the first payment of the maintenance endowment invoiced and paid prior to permit issuance, should this hearing officer recommend to the director, and the director also agree that this may move forward in the permitting process. And that is the broad overview of this project and this permit. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Do we have, yet there are 3 letters in support. Do we have anyone that wants to speak for or against the project?
We have a guest, but that person did not raise the hand to speak. Oh, there.
Okay.
Now she's starting. So you want her to talk now?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning. Can you hear us?
Hi, yes. Good morning.
Okay.
Okay. Our
Okay.
3 minutes starts now when she's ready. Okay. Please go ahead, Ms. Mullins.
Yes, good morning. My name is Suna Mullins. I am a Sunnyside resident as well as a member of the Detroit Steps Project Steering Committee. I've been closely involved with this archway. This is a neighborhood effort that has been years in the works, working with different government agencies, and we are very excited to hopefully have this archway put up in our neighborhood. We believe it will beautify the neighborhood and continue with the efforts that many, many neighbors have been putting in with keeping the area clean, free of blight, and making it a more warm and
We lost your audio for a second there.
oh, can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
can
can
hear
hear
you
you.
now.
Oh, yeah, just that, this is a project really of goodwill. It's the result of many, many hours of neighborhood volunteers trying to make their neighborhoods better, which I think is really the goal of San Francisco. And so I support this, and I encourage anyone voting on this to also support this project. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't see other attendees. There are no other hands up. Maybe Logan, I'll just ask you one question. I did see the 3 letters of support, so there hasn't been any objections to this project from anyone in the neighborhood.
Correct. Not during the comment period. We have not received any phone calls that I'm aware of, or further emails or letters that are objecting to this installation.
Okay. All right, that's all I have. And there are no other public comments. There's no one else here. So I guess yeah, there's no other
Yes, no,
recommendation.
no one else.
Okay, so that makes it easy. So thank you for coming. This hearing is now closed. I will be forwarding my recommendations to the director.
Okay, I'm going to stop recording.
Yes.